As you remember, we came up with a very easy mnemonic device to remember that, which is kafwafstapabab. Kafwafstapabab. Kafwafstapabab.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. Prove us wrong. Don't try it. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Saige Ryan. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. That's right. We used a production trick. This is something that people who are not in the production industry might not know about, but it's called lighting.
Now, we also used another trick in which the straights might not be familiar with, called bisexual lighting.
Now that's advanced lighting.
It's an advanced lighting.
And you gotta go to bisexual film school to learn that one.
You do, which is regular film
That's
school.
just any film school you go to. Go to a film school. Go to a film school and you'll find that it's either incredibly bisexual or toxically masculine, depending on which one you pick.
Yeah.
It is just disgusting in Los Angeles this week.
So disagree.
It's disgusting in a way. I mean, here's the thing. I love how gray and cold it is. Mm-hmm. The wet. It's the wet from the sky. It's bad. It gets in our producer Dagger's fur.
Well, I'm very sorry for Dagger, but personally, I am thriving in this weather.
I mean, sure, this is your weather.
This is my weather. This is it. Anthony, I've been so productive this week because it's been raining.
Listen.
Brain says sky do brr.
Here's the
brain do brr.
Here's the thing. Yes, I concur. I also, the moment the temperature drops below like 80, which is tough in LA. But the moment it starts dropping down to like 70, like mid 60s, we're in like the 40s in the morning now. Mm-hmm. The moment it drops down to that, my brain automatically goes like, oh, there are things to do. However, the sun sets at 4:45.
That's true.
And then, like a reverse vampire, my body simply drops.
Yeah?
And Dagger's too. Dagger has, our producer Dagger has seasonal affective disorder.
Human seasonal affective disorder.
The moment the light stops, the moment it's gray out, he doesn't get enough sunshine. He immediately is just like, he was asleep on the couch, like splayed out for half the day yesterday. And you know he don't splay.
He don't splay.
Not on the couch. Not where people could potentially pet him.
Much less cuddle.
Yeah. He would hate that.
He would hate that.
Normally. Except when it's gross out.
You know what's interesting about daylight savings has felt very weird this year, or maybe this is the normal one. I don't know. Don't answer that.
Don't answer it. We don't want to know anything about it. We've gotten rid of it. We refuse to learn about it now.
The one that we'll be staying on though, which is a little bit of a bummer. But
you can't just stay on one Saige because then it goes forward forever.
We're no longer doing the back and forth.
Yeah. Both of them are gone.
That's not how that works either.
Yeah. You don't spring forward, you don't fall back. If you mean we're staying on a standard time. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. We're staying on this one.
We're staying on a 1. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you said we were only getting rid of 1 and I was like,
no, we're staying on
no, because then we would always move forward and then it would be like 2 p.m. at midnight.
Besides the point.
What would happen?
When it first happened, same thing. It was like, oh, sundown, sleepy time. And now it is always night, which means never go to sleep. How do I tell when it's bedtime?
No.
It's been night forever.
Oh, my body says, easy answer, always bedtime.
Mine's like never bedtime. Mine said never bedtime because always night. Might as well do.
Might as well do.
Might as well do.
Hey, everyone, might as well do. And there was a lot to do this weekend. There were some games that released. There were some big demos. Did you play the FORSPOKEN demo at all?
No. Did you?
A little.
Yeah.
A little. FORSPOKEN. FORSPOKEN is an interesting case because it's a game that we all saw the first footage of, and immediately went, "Ooh, this game is a game that I want to play. I want to know everything about this game. And then the game did a talkie.
Yeah.
The game did a talkie, and if you remember, we did not like it.
Yeah.
Because it was very late 90s, early 2000s Whedon-esque dialogue. Like, I'm in a weird kingdom where there's magic and dragons, and I just cast a spell. I just did that.
Yeah.
And that immediately turned everybody off of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
He's right behind me, isn't he? That immediately turned everybody off the game. But
the gameplay still looks fantastic.
So the gameplay looks fantastic. However, if you were to unmute this right now, you would hear our main character speaking to Cuff. Cuff,
The magic dragon,
is the magic dragon, but also the magical Cuff that gives her power, who sounds like a Paul Bettany. And it's a real humdinger of a situation where she's in your face New York lady, and he's an effete British magical artifact, and they talk to each other.
Wow. The Whedon writing really gave us a Buffy and the Watcher dynamic, even though she's not a New Yorker.
Yes.
A sassy lady and a stuffy Brit.
It's more like a Faith and Giles situation than a Buffy and Giles situation. Now, and they do talk to each other constantly. Now, here's what I will say. You can turn it off. You can go into the menu and you can decide how much they talk to one another.
It is disappointing though. Like, you shouldn't have to turn it off. Because usually I'm like, hell yeah, give me the dialogue, give me the characters talking.
Yeah, and so it's more like when you turn it off. So there's your dialogue, there's your main dialogue, there's your important bits, and then there are what's called your barks. Barks in the game industry are like random dialogue that happens at any time, or in response to a common situation. You'll record 30 barks for when they see something surprising, or 30 barks for when they get hit, or her energy. Yeah, stuff. Just reactionary stuff. And you can turn down the barks basically, which is good. I'll say this: when you're playing it, it feels tight. This gameplay feels tight. The animation looks a little loose, but it doesn't control that way.
Okay.
It feels good. What I will say is, it's good. It's solid. I didn't walk away with my mind blown from this demo.
Okay.
I do know some people that have played further on, into a few of the chapters and gotten a little deeper, and they do say that it picks up. You warm up to it even more. But I will say the beginning of this, it's fine. It's solid. And right now what it is we're looking, it's pretty. You know what I mean? It's pretty. It's showing off Unreal Engine 5, and it's a solid action game.
That is pretty.
Yeah, and that's what it is. More than that, I don't really see yet, but that doesn't mean it isn't there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. Did anybody else play it over the weekend? How did y'all feel about it?
How long is the demo?
I played I feel like it was 30 minutes, something like that.
Okay, not bad.
But yeah, it's interesting that the best part of it is definitely the traversal, which is what they showed off first, her parkour stuff, her magical parkour. Magical parkour owns more so than the combat. Combat just feels kind of solid, like traditional action combat. The spells and things like that, they're more about the visual effects and how cool it looks to cast spells. But it's the traditional AAA skill tree, but instead of regular skills, they're magic skills.
Yeah.
It's that, so you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's cool. It's cool. It's just not like the most mind-blowing thing in the world.
CD Andino said I've been playing Midnight Suns, so I'm downloading it now. But from what you've been saying, Anthony, I'm super hyped for it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm trying not to. I'm not talking it down, but I'm not talking it up.
Yeah.
I think it's very solid, and I think for some people, just doing the parkour, the magical parkour, I think is going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, that looked cool as hell.
And it's huge. Like, they really take advantage of the new engine and the new hardware, where it's like you can run around forever.
That's cool.
It's big.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'll get lost, but that's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Another thing that came out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Portal RTX.
Oh.
So they've been doing this. You know, we got our Quake RTXs and whatnot, and the latest one is the Portal in RTX, and this has been melting some video cards. I don't mind telling you.
Oh no.
So this is it. It's got the DLSS 3. It's one of the first games to have DLSS 3. So if you have a card that can use it, this is going to be one of your first chances to check it out. That's the new, AI upscaling. So you can see it's running at like 4K, and on the right, you've got like 99 frames versus 22 frames, and you've got lights and colors and all sorts of things. I mean, the lighting in the bigger, darker hallways of Aperture or the larger test chambers, I think that looks
shiny stuff.
Yeah, like that looks really nice. The thing about Portal is it was built to be like, there's a reason they chose these stark white test chambers.
Yeah.
It's like, it was easy to do in 3D at the time.
Absolutely. And it never looks dated.
Yeah.
Playing Portal doesn't look dated.
Exactly. And so, but it also means that like adding RTX to it is not as impressive as some other things.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, that still looks like a clean white room.
Right.
But it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I like Portal. I kind of, every once in a while, I'm just like, I could jump back into Portal.
Oh, I love to jump back into Portal. Co-op?
Co-op Portal?
You want to go co-op Portal too?
We can do that. There's no RTX. What will we do without the RTX? All the lighting.
Have a good goddamn time. Keep our graphics cards intact.
I can't have a good time unless I know that the rays are being traced.
No good times without shiny walls.
No good times without shiny walls. Look, we've proved it ourselves. Think about it.
We were having a terrible time up until now. We've
Just
never had fun doing this.
This show has been such an albatross around my fucking neck. And let me tell you, we turned on some lights and I was like, I might enjoy this. I might enjoy this. This whole show is being rendered using RTX now. We're being upscaled, AI upscaled. Mm-hmm. So if you ever see anything weird happen with our fingies, that's why. Because fingies can get a little weird.
Another game that did not come out this week, but is getting a lot of love this week. Specifically, absolutely thriving on Steam is Placid Duck Simulator. Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. Are you familiar?
No, but I'm listening. Made in Italy.
Placid Plastic Duck Simulator is just that. It's ducks that
it's so wavy.
float. It's very wavy.
Saige.
Yeah, it's got shine.
Saige. It's made in Italy. Saige. Oh, I could put this on the big TV and just let it run.
Correct, you could.
Different
colors, different shapes, different forms.
Oh, this is...
Constantly float.
Okay. No, come on.
Can you imagine if...
Half the Instagram accounts I follow look like that.
Exactly. Can you imagine if Pennywise's phrase had instead been pleasantly floating?
Yeah, we all pleasantly float down here.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was implying. But if he had said it, it really would have been a different thing. I like this Placid Plastic Duck Simulator.
Blade of Creation said, Simulator, God, I hate this. What could you possibly hate about this?
What could...
There's nothing to hate.
It's an exact simulation of a plastic duck in water.
That's what simulator means. Anyways,
Find a more realistic, duck floating in water. Come on. Just come on.
So,
come on.
Portal 2, for instance, has a 98% positive on Steam, and that's always been like iconic, right? We know it's one of the most revered games of all time. Okay.
Yeah.
Recently, a handful of indie hits. A Short Hike is at 99%, right?
Worth it.
Frog Detective is at 90, like a lot of 98.
Oh. Sage, you still haven't played Frog Detective.
I haven't yet.
We'll put a pin in that. Go on. These are all at 99, 98%.
Plastic Duck Simulator is at 98 with a positive trend to hit 99% in the next 30 days. It will join the ranks. It's already on the level of Portal 2, Anthony.
Wow.
It'll join the ranks of A Short Hike and Frog Detective 3.
Now, you know what this immediately reminded me of, Sage?
What?
This immediately reminded me of, and I don't know how many of y'all remember this, but when they were showing off the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 2 and 3, they did it with ducks in water. So they did this for the PlayStation 2 and yeah, so the PlayStation 2 was like, look at this duck floating in water and it's pretty realistic. And then for the PlayStation 3, they were like, you remember this demo? Well, get fucked, because we're going to fill it with all the ducks in the ding dang world. And it was the most impressive thing. It was like their Mario 128, you know? Let me see at the end. Like, yeah, there it goes. Look at all those duckies. Look at all those duckies. That's the power of the emotion engine, Sage.
6 ducks.
Sage.
They can have 6 plastic rubber ducks.
And boom, Sage. They really knew you were going to react that way, and they said, fuck you, Sage. Fuck you all the way back from 2006, Sage.
Me, 10.
They said, hey, you, little girl. Get fucked.
Me, 10 years old, watching the announcement for the PlayStation 3. Wow! Fuck you, Sage.
Fuck you, Sage. Look at this.
Fuck you in the future.
Oh no.
Oh no. See, this is why I don't play my PlayStation.
This is why she still has a little bit of the PTSD from that.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty. Anyways, Plastic Duck Simulator is only $1.99. If you want one that's called Buy More Ducks, Please, it's a bundle which has an additional thing called Ducks, Please.
And what do you get for that? More ducks?
Don't know.
I mean, when it's a difference between $1.99 and $3.18.
Let's see.
I'll pay the extra $1.10 just to not have the FOMO. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just more ducks.
Sage, I want this. I want this really badly. Can you? Oh my God! Can you?
I'll buy it and I'll put it in the Steam library.
Can you add your own custom duck skins?
Could we be ducks? Hey everybody, we're gonna go on a quick BRB really quick.
And we're never coming back.
Yeah, because we're duck makers.
Just
now.
Hello. That was a bit. We were doing a fun bit where we pretend like we're leaving.
It was a joke.
It's fun.
It's funny. Hey,
it's a good and fun time.
While you're looking at my screen.
Yeah. What? Oh, what was that? What? Sage, what was that? Sage, we seem to be having a problem sticking on your screen. Can we just try one more? Oh. Hey. And guess what? We figured out how shipping works.
Woo!
That's right.
Hey, Anthony.
What?
On these ones?
Yeah.
We make a little profit.
We make money on it and we know how shipping works? You don't have to pay $6 per item for shipping?
Woo!
Woo!
And look at that URL.
Is that PixelCircus.store?
What is it? Not .com/.net/fourthwall.party @store?
Which, as you remember, we came up with a very easy mnemonic device to remember that, which is Kafwafstapapap. 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 But anyway,
but y'all seemed like you were having a hard time with it. So now there's, I guess, a more direct link.
Hey, Saige.
Yes.
Can we figure something out for... Maybe we can figure something out for the BBs that ordered super early and paid those big per item shipping prices. Maybe we can figure out like a little coupon code or something for them.
Brilliant thing to ask me live on the show, Anthony.
Maybe we could. I
love what you've done with this.
Thank you.
Thank you for creating work for me.
No.
Cheers.
Monday is our meeting day, and I'm happy to figure it out. I've done it before for other stores.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome, Saige.
Very good.
So yes, the answer is we'll find a way. So if you ordered during the times when we didn't understand how money works, thank you.
Did you get a card for the extra shipping? Oh, absolutely not, to be clear.
No. The shipping we didn't get anything for.
No, to be absolutely clear, we don't make anything on your shipping and never have.
No.
We were using a different hosting service previously for our merch that was shipping. And they were like, we have different shipment centers from all around the world. And I was like, that's so cool. And they were like, so we're going to ship one from over here and one from over there. So you got to pay it separately.
Right. And there was something where like you could get them to do it all at once for a flat rate, but
you couldn't if your website was on Squarespace because they didn't have a storefront. It was really fun and good and bad.
It was fun and good and bad, but we've got it working now, and so be on the lookout. We have the order histories. I'll find a way to listen. Stand outside in the rain and wait for me. I promise I'll be there. Don't get on the train. I love you, and I promise I'll be there. I'll find everybody who put in orders on the old store, and I'll send you all a little coupon in case you want to order something again. Thank you for dealing with us during the testing phase of the store. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. But yeah, go get one of those sick beanies or one of those good tumblers. Listen.
I'm trying to find out what the ounces are on the tumbler.
Probably 20.
20 ounces. I will update the site to say that. It's 20 ounces.
It's a 20-ounce tumbler.
It's stainless steel. It's for hot or cold beverages. It's rubber-lined, insulated.
You can be a Visco girl. Are they still around?
Are they still Viscoing?
Are they Viscoing? I hope they are.
I wish them well.
I wish them all a very music festival. Flannel Fries asked, do you mean a toque? Yes, and if you log on from a Canadian IP, it should say toque instead of beanie, and let me know if it doesn't.
Anthony, I'm going to commit arson.
But the arson has an OUN because if you log on from Canada.
Where? Arson?
Hey, don't make fun of our neighbors to the north.
SGESUS. Next drop, Geesis.
Next job is gonna be Geesis. Folks, go help us acquire some capital because
that sort of thing.
Because let me tell you something. All the capital's in the wrong ding dang place right now.
Because none of it's with us.
None of it's with.
None of it.
None of it is with any of us.
I mean, none of it.
None of it is with any of us. And let me tell you something. All the wrong people have the capital right now. First of all, sticking with a little video game news, I do want to say this. You know, during the Game Awards, they showed that Diablo 4. Halsey was there. It was exciting for people that are inscrutable to me. Mm-hmm. But hey, it is what it is. Diablo 4 said that it's going to come out June 2023. Well, that's exciting. We know they've been working on it for a while. That's, that's very cool.
It's pretty soon.
Except, a report from the Washington Post says that a bunch of ex-Blizzard devs who left said, oh no, if they just said that it's going to be June 2023, that means that team is crunching until June 2023. Crunching, like full crunch.
Anthony, I'm worried about Halsey. She's back there hammering away on the Diablo.
It's true.
Halsey's making the Diablo.
I know. And here's the thing.
She's back there.
We know she's creative.
Sewing
We know she's creative. She'll paint a floor while she's singing a song at a concert. So we know that she likes to do it. But here's the thing, just because you like to do it, doesn't mean it doesn't have value, right? And that's the lesson that Halsey needs to learn.
Halsey's down there.
Yeah.
In the video game mines.
Like letting them put her through crunch, underpaying her.
Trying to chip away at a Diablo.
And it's unfair. Just because she likes making art, just because she's compelled to do it. She can't do anything but make art. We know that about her. If she's like a shark, you know how if a shark stops moving, it'll die? Yeah, that's Halsey with creation.
Yeah.
But Activision Blizzard is taking that impulse and destroying it.
Union for Halsey.
We need a Halsey union. All the Halseys need to unionize.
Anyways, this is bad. It's really bad. Sorry, the devs there, crunching. That fucking sucks. But hey, Blizzard fucking sucks. Never
Blizzard
forget
sucks.
it. Never forget that every day they find a new way to suck. And every time you're like, is it time? Has it been enough time? Do you think things are getting better over there and maybe everything's okay now and I could just maybe spend a little bit of money on their game?
No.
The answer's no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
Just because you haven't heard about it. And here's the thing. You should be hearing about it. If you're not hearing about it, you're probably like just not paying attention because you don't want to. Which like...
Don't do it.
Look inward.
Don't do it.
But yeah, a current Blizzard Albany employee told the Washington Post, "We're at the point where they are not willing to delay the game anymore. So we all just have to go along and figure out how much we're willing to hurt ourselves to make sure the game gets released in a good enough state."
Thanks, I hate it.
A former Diablo 4 team lead explained that it felt very much like a bus just drove over the top of us.
Jesus.
Regular surveys of the team on their professional well-being and the latest results. So Bobby Kotick was saying everything's cool. Bobby Kotick was saying, hey, we regularly survey the team on their professional well-being, and the latest results are the most positive they've been in years. And the spokesperson and the Diablo 4 team lead was like, no, when I heard that, it felt like he drove a bus over me. Because that's not true.
Woof.
A Blizzard Albany employee who's currently there says, it's affected my health. It's affected my relationships, both familiar and romantic. It affects my ability to just enjoy things.
Woof.
If you've ever worked at a job where you have to crunch like that, I worked at a job where I was working 15, 16, sometimes 20 hours a day regularly. You don't feel like you're alive.
Yeah.
I did not feel like I was miserable.
Yeah.
And even if the stuff you're putting out is great, it's just misery and you don't feel it. And this is not okay. And it's not okay that they're going to send Halsey and a lighting team and a bunch of dancers and a bunch of effects people to the Game Awards to promote Diablo 4.
And be like, it's done, it's ready.
And spend all of this money on marketing and not fucking... You don't need Halsey to market Diablo 4.
You sure don't.
You don't need Halsey to market Diablo 4. You need to take a little bit of that money and redistribute it amongst your employees who are working these 12 to 20 hour days. And you need to hire enough people and set realistic goals so your people aren't working 12 to 20 hour days. This should not be a normal thing in the games industry. You know, this stuff happens in production too, but the nice thing about production is theoretically, when you get to a certain level, you're in the union. And if they keep you for a very long day, which they do, you at least get some sort of remuneration for it. You get recognized for it. You get something in return for giving these hours of your life.
Right.
It's still not enough, and that's why unions are constantly fighting. But the games industry doesn't have any of that stuff. We're just starting to see games industry unions this year, really.
Right. Urban Mekic. I'm going to try that one more time. Urban Mekic said, what happened to Blizzard's old motto of release it when it's ready? I'm pretty sure that Blizzard's old motto was sexual harassment. You mean sexual harass, man. So that one is still in effect. They're still going on that one. I'm not familiar with the other from Blizzard.
Yeah, back in the day, Blizzard had when Blizzard was not quite the juggernaut, they were still huge, but they had a very thing where like anytime people would ask, they'd be like, new game's coming out when the new game's coming out.
Right.
We print enough money and we're doing, what happened is they became part of a larger corporation and it's publicly traded and good.
Don't you have work time laws there? Not really, actually, for salaried employees.
No. This is a Protestant hellscape.
It's pretty bad.
The pilgrims came over here, and that is still just woven into the makeup of the country, and we don't know why.
Other misplaced money, and this one's silly as hell. This one actually went out for pre-order back in May, but it's been getting a lot of attention because it's starting to come around and be a thing people can get, which is the Dyson air purification headphones. Have you seen these, Anthony?
Yeah, I think we showed the Razer mask, I think. I don't know if we showed the Dyson hairphones. Yeah.
So this is worse because the Razer mask was just a mask that was
right.
Like,
and it had RGB.
And honestly, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it,
It
but
was silly.
what I hated was when they showed it off, what I hated was that we lived in a world where they would be able to bring that thing to market and we would still need it the way we did in 2020. That's what I hated. That's dystopian as shit.
Absolutely. So this is the Dyson headphone.
I'll kill Todd from the Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
That's my chair. Bane sits there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? Okay, listen, we don't kink shame.
The streets will run with strawberry banana.
We don't kink shame. If this is what you're into, this is
The story of a girl.
a nightmare.
It is.
Do you know that I now, whenever I say this is in the beginning of a sentence, I naturally pause for you to say that?
Sorry.
I naturally pause. It happens every time.
We're all doing, for instance, like the other ones, like all the other ones.
Yeah.
It's just me. This one is just me.
And it's such a normal phrase.
Right. But so is it's been.
Yeah. Here it's been.
Thank you. Anyways, so Dyson is known for making incredibly overpriced technology, but most of it's very good is the problem. So,
Yeah.
for instance, people fucking love Dyson vacuums, okay? We both have a fantastic knockoff from Amazon. We love that Dyson vacuums came up with the idea for other people to knock off and for us to get much cheaper.
Yeah.
I spent $700 in total on the Dyson Airwrap system for my hair.
Oh, yeah. How did that work for you?
I love it.
Yeah?
Genuinely fantastic. Really into it. Use it every day. Well worth it. And I know it's super expensive and ridiculous.
That's like Dyson's version of a ceramic curler, or what is that?
No, it's like it's a multi-tool. So it's a hair dryer, a curler, and it's like a different blowout tool. It has different head attachments. So like overall,
a batter mixer.
Right.
You have to wash. You have to remember to wash it.
Right.
You have to remember to wash it, but it can do all three.
So overall, mostly it's a hair dryer. But it's a hair dryer that can dry your hair in different ways. And it's very good. Like it's good. It's faster. It's quieter.
This is the most straight guy thing I've ever asked in my life. But like, what ways are there besides wet to dry? I know that there are diffusers.
Yeah, so the regular one has a diffuser. Mine doesn't even have a diffuser.
I don't know.
So there's one that's like a brush attachment.
Yeah.
So like I have naturally curly hair. It'll like straighten my hair out as it dries. So instead of blow drying my hair and then using another tool to then style my hair, it does it while it dries it.
That's
basically.
exciting.
There's one that's round so that you can this is from a round brush.
Anyway, use the code MiniMishy to get 10% off on the Dyson site.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot.
Actually.
I mean,
yeah.
That could be up to $1,700 if you're buying a table fan.
What I'm saying is like Dyson is overpriced technology, but like some of it's very good.
Sure.
But then they do shit like this, and I'm like, hey, get fucked, buddies. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So in this video, they sit down.
You have to return the slow cooker.
And they're like, you know, when you're sitting in the comfort of your home, you're in control of these things, but when you're out in the world, you're not. So, because immediately you picture using these, and I'm like, you'd have to be in your house. And then he's like, no, these are not to be used in your house.
No, God, no. If you use them in your house, they're highly flammable. If you use them in your house, they can hurt you very badly.
So then that means the goal is to wear these in public.
Show me. They must show somebody with them on. They can't go the entire video without showing somebody with them on. That'd show that they know how stupid their product is.
They keep it rather brief.
Oh, it takes a lot of lighting to make that. I mean, and it still looks. I mean, look, she looks like a woman that's being held somewhere in a Morgan Freeman movie.
Yeah, for me, it's giving Jigsaw.
Yeah, it's very Blumhouse, and I'm not here for it. And they're not headphones, it's filters in there. They don't play music, or they do play music. Okay, they do?
They do, but there's also filters in your ears.
I don't. So it takes it in from here and brings it into here. Look.
Abria is here and said, what am I looking at? You're looking at where your next $1,000 is going, and it's not to wasting more tickets on not seeing Annie at the Pantages. It is instead to the Dyson Zone.
Abria, your hard knock life is over. Because
Dyson Zone.
Because Sir Reginald Dyson, or whatever his name is, just invented a new way to push air from one place to another. If you're looking for one man who has revolutionized just pushing air from one place
and has made
to another,
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars finding different ways to push different air, it's Sir Reginald Dyson.
If you catch him brainstorming, it's just this.
No, I felt that. That was different.
I'm going to make $17 million.
And he is.
Look, I do feel sorry for Dyson, because Dyson was clearly planning on the nightmare hellscape to continue the way it was going, as opposed to metamorphosizing into what it is now.
Yeah, so they were planning on people continuing to take the pandemic seriously and not pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, and also they were planning on lockdowns to continue, things like that. $700 for something like that. It's probably for they're expecting business travelers to use it. Cool youth businessmen.
Hey, Anthony?
Yeah.
Close. $1,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking that we were. That's our coupon code. If you use the coupon code Mini Mishy on the Dyson site, you can get the Bane ball gag headphones for only $700. The Bane gag headphones.
The air is as sweet as a mountain breeze.
I gotta hit up the merch store and see if we can make Bane gag headphones.
Bane gag headphones, which is also my favorite gnome.
Anyways, PixelCircus.store.
I want to take it back just a little bit to Activision, if I may.
Oh, yes. Actually, no.
All right.
Okay, fine.
All right. Okay, cool. So you might be wondering, hey, Activision's still treating these people horribly. We're hearing all these things about Diablo 4. What's going on with this merger? What's going on with these lawsuits? Well, the lawsuits are still happening. Mm-hmm. They're still going through. California's not backing down. Remains to be seen how far the FTC takes the labor suits. But one thing the FTC is about to do is block that Microsoft Activision merger, which is huge and good. We were thinking that we were going to have to wait for, the good jolly old England or the EU to do this for us. But it looks like the FTC is going to sue to block this. Which is very important. Unky Phil has been going around acting like this merger's a lock. He's been making a lot of promises. He's been trying to make it seem like if the merger goes through, it can only be good for everyone. Mm-hmm. That's his job, right? He wants this merger to go through. But luckily, as much as he's doing this this big kind of propaganda campaign that he's on, the FTC is like, nah, man, we see what you're doing. We see exactly what you're doing. And we can't let this happen.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not late unless it's gone through.
Sure. I do feel like we could have been proactive about the issue of massive monopolies sooner.
Oh, you mean as a whole?
Yeah, the FTC hasn't been particularly interested in doing things like regulating
No.
in general. But hey, yeah, let's get talking about it.
Look, the FTC has not been, well, you would call them, they've been calling themselves for the last 8 years to 12 years, pro-capitalism, pro-business, pro-economy is what they've been calling it. But certainly under people like, like the last couple chair people, it hasn't been great. But it's nice to see that this is being blocked. There's also the idea that the PlayStation Bungie thing is going to be blocked. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see all this stuff get blocked.
And you can just ignore big problems and just call yourself pro anything. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I would have, but I'm a pro wrestler.
Yeah, sorry. I can't help you. I'm too busy doing German suplexes to talk about business today. That's my business. If you want to handle any business with me, you get in the squared circle and you do it, is what I say. Come on.
Ding, motherfucker.
That's right. Come on, Phil Spencer. I'm the chairperson of the FTC. If you can handle a power bomb from me, you're allowed to have whatever company you want. So yeah, I mean, listen, and the other thing that people are saying about this is like, okay, and it's what you're saying, which is, okay, they're blocking these huge mergers now, but that doesn't stop the huge ones that have already happened. Your companies that, control 30% of their industry, 40% of their industry, who, and maybe they don't merge with another huge company, but one thing the FTC has been really bad about is recognizing when one company is acquiring a lot of small competitors in the industry, which is something Microsoft has been doing and Sony has been doing.
Yeah.
Where, I think Microsoft has something like 30 studios under them now. And that all happened in the last few years.
Yeah, they've been rolling around the games industry like a Dyson vacuum.
But the idea is, look, stop further consolidation. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's good.
And if we can do that, maybe we can figure out ways to start breaking up. Listen, we've done it before. We broke up the telephone companies. Of course, they remerged like fucking Alex Mack or some shit. They just fucking
yeah.
just but it's fine.
They're much like me and my toxic exes in my 20s. They continually broke up, but just got back together when no one was looking.
Whoops, I ran into another telephone company at a party and we just woke up together. I don't know how it happened. I didn't even know that telephone company was going to be there.
Oops.
Oops.
No, I think we were doing this the whole time, actually. You just didn't notice. It's fine. It was cool before.
It's cool. It's very chill. We're keeping it me and Southern Belle. We're keeping it like very casual. Very casual. So anyway.
Let's continue talking about why money is so bad.
Yeah, money bad.
Money is terrible. Most of our stories today are going to surround from this point on around making fun of people with a lot of money.
And also Jackie Chan, but we're not making fun of Jackie Chan.
That's separate.
That's separate.
That's separate.
When we get to Jackie Chan, you know that we're not making fun of him.
But that's how we're gonna save ourselves after. We gotta have something to come back up on.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just get into this one. Yeah. Let's get to the.
Let's do it.
I think this is one you'll all enjoy. Now, I haven't actually gotten to watch the clip yet because this was just circulating as of this morning.
I've watched it. This has been removed from Twitter a million times already.
I love that we're watching it on Twitter.
Dave Chappelle had a show last night.
Boo!
And as a guest, at the end, he brought up Elon Musk.
And of course he did! Hey, everybody! rich guy. A real fucking piss baby rich guy. In case you'd forgotten, in case you had some sort of illusion that Dave Chappelle was just your friend, your buddy, your guy.
So relatable.
No. You know who Dave Chappelle relates to? Elon Musk.
Yeah, fucking, first of all, fucking trans lives matter. Second of all, fucking
eat the rich.
Eat the rich. Third of all, people criticizing you is not canceling you.
And third of all, anti-Semitism isn't a fun bit, you fuck.
Yeah, that one is a personal pet peeve of ours.
I don't know if
all of them are pet peeves, but one of them hits real personal.
Anthony, I wouldn't call like hate crimes and discrimination against us a pet peeve.
No, that's what my grandpa always called it. He was like, I'm so glad that we got out of Germany. Listen, if there's one thing that just bugs me, it's being put in a camp. He was like, oh, that's my biggest pet peeve is being sent to a work camp.
Yeah, and like in a modern sentence, like my biggest pet peeve is the local bookstore that I love getting burned down in an anti-Semitic hate crime.
Yeah.
It's a real pet peeve of mine.
Whoops.
That happened last week.
Don't you hate it when you wake up and all your crystals smashed? So anyway, Dave Chappelle brought Elon Musk up on stage, and dude got booed. Got booed real hard.
We open on you so we can see him.
Yeah.
We want to listen to him get booed. It's also very interesting, though, because, like, it does show the disconnect of people, because there's already, I would think, the kind of people that are interested in seeing Dave Chappelle in 2022 are the same kind of people that would like Elon Musk. Like, I assume that everyone knows that this is the same thing, that we're just supporting angry, bitter, rich guys that, like, want to...
Here's the thing.
Insult people and call it freedom of speech.
For a lot of people... there is a different line between these like big capitalist billionaire, like tech, whatever, and then comedians. For a lot of people, they're like, well, comedians, you know, they give them this space like they're Socrates in the town square. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there are people who also like don't keep up with most things, or aren't, you know, don't see what most people's reactions are. You know, that's why Dave Chappelle saying things like he says in his acts is such a dangerous thing, is because people who aren't as connected to what's going on in the world don't see what the problem is.
Right.
They don't see what the problem is. And that's how, you know, you wind up with people with bad opinions and disgusting opinions about trans people, about other things that are going on in the world. So I understand why people still like Dave Chappelle or are willing to give Dave Chappelle another chance. Like, you shouldn't, but I understand where they're coming from. And I don't mean understand as though I would do it. I mean, I can intellectually get why they're doing it.
I could intellectualize it. Quite simply, I refuse.
Yeah. But Elon Musk is a completely different thing. Ooh, I love it.
That's loud.
I don't think it will be loud for them.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, it was gonna be.
We should just be like down. Well, yeah, we'll turn it down like that. We'll see where that goes for us. Boo.
That's too loud.
Boo.
It shouldn't be as loud as that.
No, it's not. That's negative. It's at -20.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got booed a lot, and basically what happened is, you know, Dave Chappelle tried to play it off. Elon Musk was very surprised by it, which, like, how?
Oh.
I think he is so narcissistic that he genuinely believes that the things he says on Twitter are true. Like, this Twitter has been infiltrated by a fringe part of the far left. And this is not the way the world thinks. Obviously, the world thinks the way that he thinks. And I think he believes that.
Because, hey, the far left is not at a Chappelle show. As the far left.
No. You're going to get liberals at a Chappelle show.
Right.
And you're
enjoy the Democrats.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get neo-libs there. but you're not going to get leftists at a Chappelle show anymore.
No.
But so, you know, and Dave Chappelle tried to play it off like he tried, you know, he just tried to be a comedian about it. And he just kept getting booed. He kept getting booed.
The crowd booed for 10 minutes.
I love that. They would not let, they were trying to do a bit and they would not let the bit happen. It got to the point where Dave Chappelle apparently just started like going, boo, boo, like back to, like he had nothing to say.
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah. And then Chappelle also said, oh, the boos must be from the people like in the cheap seats, like people without money.
Bro, how do you keep making it more embarrassing for you? Chappelle called his fans poor.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. Did we not buy a nice enough ticket to your show, to your arena show that you still get to have, even though you're quote unquote canceled? Get fucked.
Everybody's like,
hey,
they're canceling.
I'm gonna be like PlayStation 3 to a little 10-year-old girl named Saige Ryan. Get fucked, asshole.
Wild. It's the out of touch for me.
It's too out of touch rich people. The worst thing that can happen to a comedian is becoming rich and then
with rich people.
And then removed from most of society.
Yeah.
And when you see it happen, it's like, ooh, there it went. There it went. Being rich gives you brainworms because being isolated gives you brainworms. And also because money gives you brainworms. Having no boundaries gives you brainworms. They both have the brainworms.
Yeah, that's some hardcore loser shit. That's just like big loser energy.
It's big loser energy.
It's rough, buddies. It's rough. Looking like dorks. Lots of people though decide to look like dorks this week to take a little bit of the heat off. One of our favorite clips of someone looking like a dork previously was Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon sitting with Paris Hilton talking about their Bored Ape NFTs.
Oh.
Do y'all remember this? This was a while ago. This was probably like...
We showed it on the show.
Yeah, it might have been even last year at this point. Paris Hilton was a guest on Jimmy Fallon, and they had the most like weirdly scripted bit where he was like, hey, Paris.
So, yeah.
Please be Paris.
Oh.
Hey, Paris.
Yeah, Jimmy.
I heard that you have some really cool images lately.
Yeah, I've released these NFTs and they're non-fungible tokens. They're basically like you own a piece of the internet.
Okay, well, I thought that was very cool when I saw your JPEG you own. So I decided to get my own. Look.
Wow.
Holds up a printed version of it.
Of his Bored Ape.
Of his Bored Ape NFT and said, it wears a striped shirt because I like striped shirts.
That's hot. And then then Paris Hilton said, I am also releasing NFTs. Mm-hmm. And everybody gets one. It was basically look under your seat, you get an NFT. And the audience was like, you can tell the warm-up guy was in the audience like
so awkward. Everybody's like,
But there's been a lot of this, right? There's been a lot of celebrities and influencers getting on board with NFT stuff and promoting NFT stuff.
Gwyneth Paltrow, who's surprised. I am surprised she hasn't found a way to like insert it in herself yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, NFTs, she's trying to explain how NFTs are good for overall wellness. And it is through inserting them into yourself, but she cannot explain how. And a lot of people are getting frustrated because they don't understand how to insert the idea of a JPEG into themselves.
And she says that's because you're not enlightened enough.
Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Fallon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Justin Bieber are part of a class action suit accusing them and a lot of other celebrities who promoted Bored Ape Yacht Club. Basically, they owned a lot of these things because you had to be wealthy to have them, and it's basically called a pump, right? And it's something that you can't do with regular traded securities, but you can do with NFTs because NFTs don't count as securities because they're nothing and they don't exist.
They're nothing, but people are playing you like it is. And then if you get successfully played, then it happened.
Right. So they were basically like promoting this thing to pump the value of the thing. So they owned something that had a lot of value so they could sell it. And they could just like bounce with the money. It's a scam.
It's like if I made a beanie for It's Too Early. And I was like, hey, everybody, beanies are so cool. Wow. I wish that everybody had a beanie that said It's Too Early on it.
I have a feeling I'm an official trend spotter. I'm a trend spotter for my job, and I can tell you some trends that are going to be very in next season. Coming up this season, it's kind of like pastel blue beanies with embroidered psychedelic logos are going to be so hot. Get on those because they're going to go up in value. I think little mini mishies, BB mini mishies are probably going to go way up in value. And also being nice to me and Saige is going to be very on trend.
See, we're on trend.
We're very on trend.
We're being nice to us. We're being nice to each other.
Other people that are named in the suit: Madonna, Kevin Hart, Steph Curry, Snoop Dogg, Serena Williams, Post Malone, The Weeknd, Fallon's entire production company, Universal Television, all of them. It claims that most of them were recruited by talent manager Guy Oseary, who spearheaded a scheme with Yuga Labs to discreetly pay them for their endorsements through crypto firm MoonPay. So they were getting paid. They were getting paid to promote these things, which also, if you're Jimmy Fallon, is a problem. You can't do that on television.
Get them.
You cannot do that on television.
Sure can't. There's regulations for those sort of things.
So
The Trade Commission is a little distracted right now.
the FTC's got a lot on their hands with these last few years.
But also, hey, for our merch, by the way, on our website, we're allowed to make personal thank you videos for everyone who buys something. And though I am behind on them, I'm going to catch up on them this week. So everybody who buys something gets a personal message from me and other PixelCircus cast members saying, hi, thanks, cool you.
Cool you. They just goes, cool you.
Cool you.
Cool you. Everybody who orders gets an episode of Caillou. Okay, so what's up next in the world?
What else are rich people doing?
Let's talk about Jimmy Cams. Let's talk about James Cameron.
Let's talk about the Jam Cam.
We are 6 days away from Avatar: The Way of Water. Not that one. The Blue Cat one. And
Could have been a waterbender movie. The Way of Water? Come on.
And Jimmy Cams
Way of the Water?
is on one, as he normally is. There's nobody that James Cameron loves more than James Cameron.
And nobody loves James Cameron as much as James Cameron loves James Cameron.
All of his ex-wives can tell you that.
Yeah.
Who are all actors in his movies. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird that he cast women and then, I don't know, it's strange. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Anyway, Jimmy Cams has been on his promotional tour for Avatar: The Way of Water.
Why doesn't he go by the Jam Cam?
The Jam Cam? Because I think he probably doesn't have an ounce of humor about himself and his body.
I think we should help him out.
Jimmy Cams, the Jam Cam?
I think that we should help him out.
The old Jammy Dodger, we call him.
By giving him the Jam Cam.
The Jam Cam.
You're welcome.
So Jam Cam was talking to comicbook.com. He's in a video interview with them, talking about that when it comes to motion capture and building emotive faces from VFX, Marvel can't hold a candle to his technology. Nobody. He says, give me a break. It's not even close.
It's so interesting considering Marvel releases like 4 blockbuster films a year minimum.
Right.
And he releases one every 14 years.
Yeah. It's easy to make a movie look good when you've been working for 14 years on it, I would imagine. Now, he does push technology forward in film. I'm not going to say that he doesn't. He's created a lot of innovations in film. He's done a lot of stuff for the technology of film. But you don't need to do this dunking. There's no reason to do this dunking on people who are not spending $1 billion per movie.
But everyone goes for Marvel. It's always Marvel.
Well, because Marvel's the biggest kid on the playground now.
No, but it's also very specific where it's like they're always going for the thing that's like the most universally liked, which is very foolish. You know what I mean? Like Marvel has the most like universal appeal. Everybody's seen a fucking Marvel movie in the last 10 years.
It's like when Martin Scorsese came out and was like, well, they're not really film. Or Quentin Tarantino said like, well, they're not, the Marvel actors aren't really movie stars. They're just known as the Marvel characters. They're not really known for being themselves. And it's like, you don't need to do that. And also, if you do that, like I understand what both of those people are saying.
Yeah.
When you're Martin Scorsese and you say, I consider Marvel movies more of like a theme park ride. I get what you're saying. But if you say that, you have to be prepared for what you get back. And a lot of these people are not. They're like, whoa, what did I do? And it's like, well, you made fun of a thing that a lot of people love.
Right, but it is, exactly. If it's a theme park ride, you're there and you're like, but I drive a car. So the little thing that I ride around on this roller coaster in doesn't compare to my fucking car.
No, I have a car.
I have a car.
No.
Why would I ride a roller coaster when I have a car?
I've been on bigger trains than this.
Like,
You're just sitting there with your knees against your chest and some cotton candy in like a fucking train full of kids, and you're just like, I've been on bigger, faster trains.
and the kids are like having a good time.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then
children, do you not have a car?
PlayStation looks down at you from the stage and goes, hey kid, get fucked. So, you know, it's interesting. He says, he says, our team at Weta Digital is constantly having new hires and it's coming out of that pool, so it improves everything. So, but here's the other issue. He's not the only person that uses Weta effects. Like he has a team at Weta Effects that's been working on the avatar technology, but it's not like when he says like Weta's doing this and nobody can do it like Weta. Well, like, hey, everybody uses Weta. Star Wars uses Weta. Thanos was created by Weta. You're dunking on Thanos specifically, and your character team made Thanos. So that also shows that James Cameron doesn't have any respect for the people that are working for him because he doesn't know what they've done if it's not for him.
Not so good.
And look, is the Blue Cat movie gonna look good? Sure. Blue Cat movie looked great. That's not problem with Blue Cat movie.
That's not the problem.
If there was a problem with Blue Cat movie, I would say it's not that it was cool looking. That's not it.
The problem is that the name Avatar had...
TM copyright.
They took the name Avatar when Avatar The Last Airbender was already doing their thing. And then they went to make a movie and were like, what? Hold on, wait, you took it? But like, we've kind of been doing it.
That's
kind of been using that.
You know, what's funny is most people would be like, oh shit, there's already a trademark out there. We don't want any confusion. And James Cameron just went, my thing's going to be the biggest thing in the world. He was right. He's like, my thing's going to be the biggest thing in the world. So it doesn't matter that there's something else named that. But the problem is now, because of the lasting power of the other Avatar, when you say Avatar, I
People
think
go,
of,
and then you go the blue ones and they go, huh.
but yeah, it's just, you know, the problem with Avatar was maybe just plot and character and all the Avatar stuff.
The premise is colonization.
But there's one colonizer who's good colonizer, best colonizer.
We've never heard this story before.
And cares so much and doesn't believe in the bad that the other colonizers do. And he wants to...
He's still gonna colonize.
No, I mean, but look, he will fall in love with somebody who not colonized. He will fall in love with somebody indigenous. Right. And then they will teach him indigenous and he will do it better than all of them. And he will use his
native so hard.
He's going to native the hardest anybody's ever natived, and he's going to do it better, and he's going to lead them to a victory.
Icky.
And don't worry, Pocahontas was fine and lived happily ever after for the rest of her days.
Don't watch that movie.
So yeah, I mean, look, we don't know what this next one is about or what's going to change or be updated. It's been been 15 years. That's why it looks so good. That's the other thing is like, he's like, nah, we look so good. Ours looks so much better. And he's acting like other movies have the time, the money, and the freedom to shut down and restart like 5 times. He's restarted this Avatar. He started from scratch like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, he's been working on this since the first one.
Yeah. And the first one he was working on for 100 years before that.
Yeah. So I don't know. And listen, it's not like Marvel. It's not like Marvel is punching at Marvel is punching down. It's definitely not. But like, I don't know. There's just something that came off very about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm probably going to see Avatar in the D-Box theater, where you ride it like a ride.
Full circle.
It's just like a theme park.
It's just like a theme park.
Think about it. Think about it.
It's nothing like my car. Well, yeah.
I've been in better cars. In other movie news, let's talk about DC.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about DC. So there's been a lot of upheaval at DC. You know, we heard that Patty Jenk's Wonder Woman 3 has been put on ice, is no longer happening. Mm-hmm. A lot of other movies that were planned are no longer going forward. For some reason, The Flash is happening.
Interesting.
But
what is it about the movie that they canceled that's different from The Flash? Anyways.
But a lot of people have said, well, if you don't have Affleck anymore and you're not doing Batgirl, if you don't want to put the Flash out, or you shouldn't want to put the Flash out, why don't you do a Batman Beyond movie? Why doesn't DC do a Batman Beyond movie? Everybody's been saying it. And we've been wondering why DC doesn't want to do, or hasn't been thinking about it. It feels like we haven't heard anything about it. Well, according to the Hollywood Reporter, plans were actually in motion to make a Michael Keaton roll that intro to make a Michael Keaton Batman Beyond movie. It was they wanted to do it for a while. So Christina Hodson, who wrote Flash and Batgirl, pitched a Batman Beyond idea. The executives were excited about it. She began working on the script. But then apparently when James Gunn and Peter Safran came in, they put the kibosh on it. They said no to it. Sources say that it was Keaton with an older Bruce Wayne, and potentially would have been an older Bruce Wayne who was married to Catwoman, who would be Michelle Pfeiffer, training the new Batman. The two of them training the new Batman together.
Hey, James Gunn? The fuck?
Now, Gunn said that there have been a lot of reports, right? Like Patty Jenkins refused to rewrite her story for the third Wonder Woman. And so that got put on ice. Man of Steel 2 is apparently like, it was, oh my God, it's happening. And now it's not happening. And then this rumor came out and James Gunn was like, yo, these reports are varying degrees of true, not true, half true, or not yet true, or untrue, depending on, like, he's just like, all of this stuff, you're hearing things and you're only hearing snippets. It's entirely possible that, there was a hold put on this because of other reasons and it was a temporary, we don't know. But here's what we do know. They were told to stop. They said, stop writing that movie. One thing that James Gunn did say that made me very happy is that Superman is top priority. I know you don't care, but to me, I love that.
But when hasn't Superman been a top priority?
Oh, for ever.
We've gotten a lot of Supermans.
Just
because they're not good doesn't mean they weren't their priority.
Well, remember that the last Superman movie before Man of Steel was 1985 or 1986. And so we had the entire rise of superhero movies without Superman. And then we got Man of Steel and it was not great.
But again, like you can't pretend it. Like they did do it.
They did do it, but
like,
Zack Snyder.
Because you're not happy with it.
Yeah.
You can't be like, not enough Superman. It's like, no, you just didn't. You did it. Like, the company that makes the Superman made bad Superman.
Yeah, we had the Bryan Singer one, which was just the 1980s one done over again. And it's because, you know, when you hear stories about these movies, it's because the studio like doesn't believe in it, doesn't know what to do. And I would like to see somebody or a team of people that understands the importance of Superman. And here's my thing. I don't think saying that Superman is top importance, I don't think means necessarily a Superman movie. The way Superman has been done in DC Comics universes for like the last 10 years is like Superman is the first hero. People see Superman, and after Superman like becomes this symbol of like, you know, we have to do what's right, other heroes take that as inspiration to rise up. And I think there could be something cool where you do a DC universe where Superman is like, he's there, but he's too big to be in most of the films, right? Like he's out there and he's doing big shit and everybody loves Superman and you see him every once in a while. And I like that as him as a point of inspiration. I think that could be fun. You know, think about Tony Stark, who's not a narcissistic alcoholic. Think about a Tony Stark who like flies down and is just like, hey, you're doing your best. Here's how you could do a little better. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like a good dad, Tony Stark.
I'm sorry, that's so uninteresting to me. I think that's incredibly boring. I'm not like he should be an alcoholic.
No.
I'm saying like, I just think conceptually Superman, most Superman, I think that's so uninteresting.
He's just a good dad who's doing his best. I don't know. And like, he doesn't need like, I get it. I get why people aren't I don't know. But that's why I'm saying he doesn't need like a movie if you're worried about doing a movie with him. Like I love right now, like in Peacemaker and in Suicide Squad, like they mention Superman, but they mention Superman in a way that's like, they've never seen him. Like nobody talks to him. They talk about him like he's the biggest movie star in the world. And there are people that like work on small productions and they're just like, well, I heard Superman's like this and I heard, you know what I mean? And it's like, I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's too big. Why would you ever hang out with Superman? He doesn't have time.
That's just my thing is like people being like, when are we going to start prioritizing Superman? It's like, when did they stop? It's like DC's not good right now. So Superman hasn't been good because DC hasn't been good. And I say this as somebody who was a massive DC fan for the majority of my life. DC put out a long span of bad fucking movies.
Yeah, they did.
Bad fucking content. They were over here with the animated programs like, we could just be doing this. And the movies were like, never heard of it.
The first season of the Superman cartoon was so good. It was so good. People are saying there's never been a good Superman movie, and I will tell you what, the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeve is a good movie still. It has that one part where it's a musical number. It's a problem.
Okay, but at some point, you have to wonder if maybe Superman just doesn't make for an interesting movie.
Well, here's the thing.
How's everybody fucking it up that bad? Maybe Superman, not good for a movie.
I think one of the problems is that everybody is coming, the creatives that they've been bringing on have been coming from the point of view of Superman is not interesting. How do we make him interesting? And I think
that's a wild thing to assume that everyone who's worked on a Superman has not liked or loved Superman.
But Zack Snyder has basically said that he did Superman because they said if he did Superman, he'd get to do Batman. He was trying to get to do Batman. And that's why the second movie wasn't a Man of Steel 2. It was Batman versus Superman. He wanted to make a Batman movie.
Sure. And he sucked at making Batman too.
He sucked at making Superman. Brandon Routh was like, or not Brandon Routh, who was great as Superman, by the way, but Bryan Singer was like, oh, they brought me in to do it. And I said, the best thing we could do is just do the Richard Donner movie again because he did it perfectly. And I was like, and I'm just like, who's making these decisions? I think it's the sort of thing where like an Iron Man movie before like Kevin Feige, Jon Favreau, like that team came in to do an Iron Man movie sounded like a horrible idea to most people. And I think you need a team like that who can get to the core, who loves the character and can get to the core of it to make a good Superman movie. Because there's been good Superman stuff. The first season of Superman and Lois was very good. I think there's been good Superman stuff, but I also think Superman has a problem, like you're talking about, where like a lot of people find him uninteresting. So maybe it's not a Superman movie of his own. Like maybe you just give up on that, and you find a way to weave him into the world.
And here's the thing: I'm fine with a Superman movie existing. I'm not saying don't make a Superman movie. I'm just saying there's all these people being like, but Superman! But Superman! And it's like, A, hey, learn another hero. B, they've given you Superman. So let's talk about it differently then.
Yeah.
Then like, why hasn't Superman... You guys don't even talk about Superman. It's like you don't even love him. Please, my precious boy is like. Superman is like you.
But I'm not. But I understand.
Kid you don't like.
And there are people like that. Like there are people for every character, for every major character. It has its fans, but it has its stands. But I like Superman, but I understand why people don't. But I do think there's a place for him. And like Gab Greg 47 is saying, like, he's in it, like do the story about him being an immigrant trying to fit in like the comics are doing. And that's great. That.
We talked about that forever ago.
Yeah, we
talked about that forever ago.
That's the original, that's the original story is he's an immigrant trying to fit in and he's worried that he can't assimilate. And he's worried that if he doesn't try to assimilate, everyone will dislike him.
Which like, unfortunately, that doesn't feel like super tight because it's told through the lens of a like very conventionally white man, and they were like, "Look, he's an immigrant."
Yeah.
And you're like, "No, hold on."
Yeah, and the other thing is like everybody took away the fact that it's a Moses story and turned it into a Jesus story. So he was never really coded Jewish, but his origins were coded Jewish, and they've sort of like
most superheroes were.
Yeah, they've sort of taken that away. But somebody earlier brought up Superman Smashes the Klan, which I thought was such a good comic. Yeah. And it's, Superman working with basically in mid-century United States with a community of Asian immigrants that's trying to integrate into a city, and the Klan is after them. And he's like, I want to do what I can, and I can't punch regular people. How do I help? What do I do to bring this community together? Is it even my place? You know what I mean? And it's that sort of thing where it's like, there's a story of Superman coming from a place of power and privilege and learning more, which is also a great Superman story as well. And I always like that.
Also, again, at the end of the day, we're really gonna have to be thoughtful about how you write it because that's a white savior story.
But that's the thing.
That's not interesting.
You gotta be thoughtful about it, and that's the thing. And the dichotomy of Superman and Lex Luthor, I think right now is a hugely good one too. I think they almost had an idea with Lex Luthor in the Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman movies, or Batman versus Superman. I don't think he showed up in Man of Steel. But the idea of him being spoiled tech billionaire who thinks he's a genius, I'm like, that's a very timely idea. They did nothing with it.
Yeah.
They did nothing with it. There was in the DC comics, they did a thing where Lex Luthor was basically elected president because he was anti-hero and xenophobic. And he said, we have to protect America's borders and we have to protect who we are. And it's just like, do things like that. The problem with Superman is you can't do what you can do with a lot of other heroes, which is sort of like nod towards something that's going wrong in the world.
Yeah.
Superman has to be a legitimate story about something huge that's going on in the world that you can't punch. Because if he can punch it,
it's boring.
It's boring.
I think at the end of the day, I am open to a Superman that I would like. I would love that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. But a Superman that I would like is never going to be written by a white man.
That's fair.
Like a Superman that I like is never going to be written by a white man. That'll always be boring to me. The perspective that will lack will forever be uninteresting to me. So there's an option there, but DC does not seem to be trending in the direction of interested in doing so. So
yeah,
that's that.
We'll see what's going on with DC over the next couple months.
More kind of DC thing.
Oh my God, this isn't even a thing.
It's so funny though.
This made me so mad.
That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I think it's very funny.
I hate the state of marketing and PR and social media and the world.
Everybody was like, whoa, first look at Joker, fully adieu. Which, by the way, is a Fall Out Boy song, and I think that's so funny. Like,
Sure.
I also know it's a million other things, but like, specifically also the fact that it shares the same name as a Fall Out Boy song.
Wasn't it a whole album?
It was an album.
Yeah.
There's a song. Yeah, there's a song on the album, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that's hilarious that it shares the name of a Fall Out Boy album. I just think that we should all really focus on that. But they were like, first look, and it's just a photo of them shaving the face.
That is the first production still from Joker 2. Todd Phillips posted it. He was clearly like, what am I allowed to post? And they were like, nothing. He's like, I've got to post something. And this is it. And the internet went crazy for this.
I don't care what you think as long as it's about me.
That's clearly Joaquin Phoenix, and he's getting a shave, and it looks dirty and weird because
Pete Wentz is holding the razor.
That was Wentz.
That's Pete Wentz holding the razor. Fully adieu, everybody. This is where I get to remind you that Harley Quinn is being played by Lady Gaga, and it's a musical.
It's a musical.
It's rumored to be a musical.
There will be at least...
That's so funny.
There will be 2 musical numbers at least in that film.
Yeah.
There will be 2 musical... Yeah. So, which, here's the thing. This photo is nothing, and the fact that the internet blew up about this photo is just like, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. It's wait for actual news. The fact that they're shooting a film is not a surprise.
No.
That still means nothing. I can't wait. There's got to be at least 3 think pieces out there being like, why did Todd Phillips choose to show us shaving? What does it mean about the change of a man's face? What does it mean about his identity and what we're going to see from Joker in this film? No.
Nothing. It means nothing.
It means nothing.
But, Anthony, the reason I put it in our spreadsheet to talk about today was exactly because of these BB's reactions.
Oh, people forget. People forget.
So many. They forget, or they didn't know.
Or they didn't know.
Or they didn't know.
Yes.
So they're all out here. Everybody's like, hold on. Is this a joke? I'm so confused. Like, is it a musical?
It's
is this
the
real?
Gaga.
No. This is real. Everything I just said was real. Lady Gaga.
Miss Germanata herself.
Lady Gaga.
Will be.
As Harley Quinn in the musical.
Now.
Joker 2. Fully adieu.
Now, the musical part, we don't know how much of it is musical.
But we know there will be music numbers, and it is rumored to be considered a musical behind the scenes.
And I think that, the Joker was a movie. Joker was a movie. We can say that. It was one of the movies of all time. It was one of the movies of all time. And when they were like, we're making another one, I'm like, of course you're making another one. Why wouldn't you make another one? And I was like, that's fine. I'll catch it on VOD or whatever. I'll watch it on plane, wherever it shows up. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, what if we told you Lady Gaga as a Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
And there's a musical number. And then I went, shit. Do I have to see this film? Because that's a weird and interesting idea.
Here's the thing, Anthony. You know we're doing an hour-long Patreon recap of this movie. You know that we are.
That's a weird and interesting idea.
Here's the thing. And to be clear, when I'm like, I'm in for Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn in this musical, I don't mean this in a good way. This is not something I think would be an ounce of good. I like Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. I do not think that she's going to make a good Harley Quinn. I think that's a hilarious choice because there's a level of celebrity, and we've talked about this before, but there is a level of celebrity, especially for like a notable character of this, where you're looking at it and you're just like, I see Lady Gaga on screen.
Right. Now look, she can act.
She can.
We know she can act.
A Star is Born.
We know she can act. We know she's got. Listen, Harley is either thanks to Jess Dweck and the writing team over at the animated series. Harley is either coded Jewish, or coded kind of like New York, Brooklyn, Italian, right?
Which
Gaga can do. I think it can be.
Gaga's not Jewish, right?
No, she's Italian though. She's part of the she's part of the big hand society.
Yeah. We did
So
sign
like
that
there's a treaty that was signed in Hollywood in the 80s that was like
between
that was like Jews can play Italians and Italians can play Jews. It's a little more complicated than that now, but you get where we're coming from. As somebody who's both. Now, I think, and I do think it's an interesting take. But I don't necessarily think it's like you're saying. I don't think it's good. I don't think it makes the movie good.
It's good. I think it's hilarious.
I
can't wait to watch it.
I think it's odd.
I don't like Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
I don't like the Joker
We
movie.
should not like Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
We should not like the Joker. Todd Phillips has some opinions that he's put out there. Now,
I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to watch it so hard. And I'm going to talk about it on the Patreon for an hour and a half. It's not coming out until October 2024.
Now, do you know what would be interesting is if Warner Brothers would remove the legal block from the People's Joker, which was going around the film festival circuit. Am I just gone now?
Yeah.
Okay. But it was called The People's Joker.
Oh, it's because you went into full screen mode, I think.
I've been in full screen this whole time, baby.
Never mind.
So Vera Drew made The People's Joker. It is a live action and animated movie that is about a trans queer Joker. And it went to the Toronto Film Festival. It was a huge deal. People really loved it. And of course, it immediately got a takedown because, they didn't have the permission to do it. Which, like, okay, but hear them.
Plus that.
Yeah, watch them. Hey, James Gunn, watch the movie. Check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe put it out.
And then also, I have to agree with chat. Let Margot Robbie make a Harley and Ivy movie.
Yeah, listen, if Todd Phillips gets to make a musical Joker movie before Margot Robbie gets to make Harley and Ivy, which is it happened, what kind of timeline are we living in?
You can see why my faith in DC is non-existent.
They've made choices. I mean, look, here's the other, DC's had 3 heads in 5 years or something like that. It's wild. Like, there's nobody that little baby train is out of control. It's about to go over a cliff. We'll see if they can pull it together, but bring out the People's Joker.
All right. Well, that is all of the news that we had time for today. Thank you for joining us. We do this show, of course, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. If it's not 8 a.m. when we start, where you are, that is not on us. We are not running late, and different time zones don't exist. That is your clock, and you should fix it.
Listen.
I'm worried about you. You should get that checked out.
We're worried about you, but also keep it to yourself. Listen, we're worried about you, but keep that to yourself.
There was the Jackie Chan story.
Oh, right. Jackie Chan.
Rush Hour 4 is in the works.
Rush Hour 4 is coming. Jackie Chan is in talks to be part of it. We don't know. I would imagine that he's not going to be the lead. I think this is going to be one of those soft reboots. I'm excited to see it.
The quote that was attached to it was recalling a fight with Bruce Lee where he said, "I wanted him to hit me again." That's your Jackie Chan news.
Jackie Chan got hit by Bruce Lee and said, "I love that."
He said, "Another one."
Another one.
He said, "Please, sir, may I have some more?"
I love that for Jackie Chan.
Thank you to everybody, of course, for being here. You can join the Discord. It is completely free. That's a great way to support us. There wasn't a Patreon clip on Friday, so maybe we'll record a little something today.
But we also, if you're in that Discord, we take a look at it for things like stories, suggestions, all that kind of thing. It's a great place to talk to each other, but it's also a great place to show us something that you think we should look at. You don't need to tag us. But thank you to Flatlander, who sent in the clip of Elon Musk getting booed. That's a good clip.
That's a good clip.
That's a good clip.
Honestly, That's good. That's good BB behavior.
That's excellent BB behavior.
That's excellent BB behavior.
That's
Really
the better.
getting booed.
That's from the BBBBB, the Better BB Business Bureau.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate you showing up and spending your mornings with us. Check out the Patreon. The Patreon starts at $3 a month, but for $5 a month, for the whole month, you get a bonus clip from It's Too Early every week. That's
week.
pretty cool and exciting.
Yeah. Also, of course, PixelCircus.store, which it works. And we know how to do it now, and get all of that good new merch, including that beautiful BB Blue hoodie. That color is called BB Blue. BB Blue beanie.
We have, of course, the classic mini Mishies, which are going away soon. I don't know when. We'll probably take them down at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Keep that limited.
New year, new Mishi is what they say.
The mug are the mugs that we use here on the show. They come in the pink and the blue. And the sticker was already up on our previous store, but the beanie and the to-go mug are brand new. I did add the ounces for it and the actual product information.
There you go.
Updated it a little bit. And the beanie comes in 2 colors. So if you don't like the blue, you can also get it in black.
Ooh, love them both. Okay. Thanks. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll do a roll call of everybody who supported us during the show in just a second. But before that, Saige, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. That's enough.
Hi, I'm also on the internet. You can find me everywhere at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, is mine. Give it back to me. And of course, my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata. It's called We Have Concerns. Go check that out at wehaveconcerns.com. You can also find me falling asleep wherever I stand at exactly 4:55 p.m. until the end of the winters. If you see me crumpled on the ground on a sidewalk or in a gutter, do me a favor and just sit me up and push me over to a shrub. Thank you.